Welcome everyone to the Learning on the Fly podcast. I am your host Tyler. I am without Jesus for this podcast, but I wanted to go into some breaking news covering the Miami Heat. They just announced today that Victor Oladipo will be making his debut for the season. I think we're about 23, 24 games into the season, so he's definitely missed way less games than he has the last 2 years for us. So it's good that he's finally coming back. Um, I'm excited. I'm very excited because he is someone I feel that when healthy is able to make a very significant contribution to the Miami Heat. He in his debut with us last year, he showed elite defense. His offense was kind of struggling, which I understand. He got thrown into like the last 8 games of the season. He didn't really get a groove on the offensive end. And even throughout the Hawks series, the first round, he didn't make his debut. I don't think until the third game or fourth game. And I remember watching the third game or whatever first game he was in. It was in Atlanta, and we were losing that game and we weren't doing good. We threw him in, and I felt like his defensive impact in that game completely changed that game. And then having him throughout the rest of the series really helped us because I'm pretty sure Jimmy missed a game, Lowry missed a game. So him being out there able to guard Trey Young, throw bodies at him, it really helped. And he did have elite defense throughout the whole playoffs. You saw it in the James Harden matchup when he was guarding him in the 76er series in round two. And then he was also doing pretty solid, in my opinion, against Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown in the Eastern Conference Finals, which we lost in Game 7. Um, but like I said, I think he had elite defense last year throughout the playoffs, and if he can give us that same Victor Oladipo, just the defense impact that he had, it's without a doubt a great aspect to the Miami Heat, and I would love to see that again. I understand that the timeout's gonna take some time for him to get his offensive groove back, and I'm not expecting him to come out here and be the Indiana Pacers Oladipo, but if he can give me the same Oladipo he gave us in the playoffs for right now, his first game back, his first 10 games, 15 games, that's fine. I would like to see in the future the all-star Oladipo. It's kind of unexpected and it's not, people aren't going to believe it's going to happen because he's ever since those days where he got hurt, he constantly is getting hurt and he's dealing with injuries. Um but my wishes and my hopeful thinking is that one day he could come back to the Indiana Pacers Oladipo, but I understand if it won't happen. Um but like I said, if we can get the defensive Oladipo that we got last season right now on this team, it would be a major, major addition. And I'm very excited. Spo said that he's not going to play his normal minutes, which I understand it's his first game back. You got to ease his way in, give him maybe 15, 20 minutes. That's perfectly fine with me. Obviously, off the bench. And we'll see what he does. He's going up against the Pistons. And after last night's performance, the Heat versus the Grizzlies, all the starters were playing. Everyone was fully healthy. That it looked like. And we lost. We lost to a Memphis Grizzlies team without Jaren Jackson, John Morant, and Desmond Bain, a team we should never lose to without arguably their three best players playing. Um, so it was a trap game. We lost. We got humbled after beating the Celtics, and it's time that we take care of business against the Detroit Pistons tonight. I believe they're 5 and. Let me look at that record real quick. I believe they are 6-19. We're 11-13. So we should get this win. It's in Miami, and it's a great time for Victor Oladipo to be returning. Enough time, I think. Unlike last season, right before the playoffs, he has enough time to build chemistry, get his legs under him, get a groove. Hopefully, he'll be healthy. Knock on wood throughout the whole season, and he'll be ready for the playoffs for us. Um, so yeah, I think it's great news. A lot of Heat fans should be very happy right now. He's not a player that is going to come out there and make the team worse. He's going to miss some shots to get his efficiency back. He's got to get, like I said, his legs under him. But just his defensive impact off of last season, if it's anything like that, it's a great addition. Um, so I'm excited. I know, like I said, all Heat fans are excited. I haven't been this excited for a Heat game in a little bit. We lost in Game 7 last year in the playoffs, and I felt like going into the season we lost PJ Tucker, and I knew kind of going in that we were going to start Caleb Martin at the 4. We were going to be pretty undersized. Caleb Martin is a wing. He does not need to be playing the power forward position. Um, but going into free agency, I wanted Oladipo back, and I thought he was going to leave. I thought off of his playoff performance, he was going to get a significant offer, not what he was deserving of in Indiana with the max contract, but I thought some team like the Kings, maybe the Magic, the Knicks, the Pistons would have offered him, like maybe a 2-year, $30 million deal, which is 15 a year. That's not that bad for what he was doing. Um, so I'm very happy he signed with us. Um, he kind of gave us a chance again. He's gonna show us what he can do. Um, and yeah, it's a solid deal. If he gives us a solid season for what the money we paid him, which was I think it was 2 years, 18 million. That's a solid contract. We're giving Duncan Robinson 5 years, like 95 million. He doesn't even get on the court every game. And then when he does, half the time he's not even shooting the ball that well, and then he is literally a liability on defense. So it's definitely better that Oladipo is getting paid what he's getting paid for the impact that he can bring. So yeah, this is just gonna be a quick podcast. I just wanted to, break the news if you haven't seen it already that Victor Oladipo is making his return. Um, I'm gonna be trying to do some post game and pre game podcasts whenever I have the chance, because if it doesn't interfere with work, about the Miami Heat. But also myself and Jesus, we're gonna be covering the NBA as a whole, MLB, NFL, and NFL. Um, so we're gonna be covering mostly all the teams in the NBA, but I'm gonna try to do when I get a chance the Miami Heat specifically, because that's my favorite team. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't followed any of the social media, follow the YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. We try to do live podcasts every couple days on our Twitch and YouTube, so you guys can tune into that. And on the Instagram and Twitter, we post clips, trailers to movies, news for movies, clips for NBA, NFL, and then when baseball starts again, we'll be doing that. And our first podcast about baseball will be when Aaron Judge signs. That's the big question mark right now. He was the MVP in the MLB, so he's the big news guy for the MLB. So once Aaron Judge picks a team, we'll throw out the podcast, and that's when we'll begin talking about the MLB. So yeah, so if anyone, if you want to join the future podcasts, just comment down on the YouTube. Let us know on any of our social media. We'll be sure to go ahead and contact you back if you have interest. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Thank you. It's about an 8-minute video, but it's just to get the news out about Victor Oladipo. So thank you guys for tuning in. You have a good one.